So the first really thing is to understand is you mentioned about pradnya. You mentioned about the highest and purest form of
Yes.
wisdom, intelligence, and understanding.
Hmm.
You also talked about, I remember, of Sukshma Buddhi and other types. So tell
Yes.
us what spiritual intelligence is. Tell us if there are different forms of intelligence, say emotional or whatever that's going on in the world right now. So tell us more about what is spiritual intelligence according to your lenses, as per your lenses.
Okay. See, whatever we are going to assess right now is based on our present knowledge. Whether for some of you, it may appear I am blabbering. For some of you, you might have read similar things. But at the end, you are going to assess someone based on your present knowledge. See, as long as you are happy and content with your present knowledge, that this topic will not flow because you're already blocking it. You want everything to conform to your present knowledge. So that is the basic intelligence which tells you, I know this subject, I don't know this subject. So any knowledge which you are open to receive, which is beyond your present storehouse, that, what you can say, that kind of an intention is required for this spiritual intelligence to flow. For simple reason, this word is an oxymoron.
Okay.
Yeah, because there is no other better word to express. They have used this word. Because generally, when you say intelligence, it is based on present knowledge. I will keep telling this again. So when there is an openness, so where openness happens is when you have a trust. When you have a trust
on
something which already is there. To make this point clear, we need to understand that this topic can be understood or approached in two different ways.
Okay.
One is a pure perception, scientific, measurement based, where we only use our present knowledge and five senses. Maybe you can plug in an electroencephalogram to my head and find what waves are flowing. That is limiting way to understand. Wherein you feel, I don't need to trust, I don't believe in a higher source, I don't believe in God. So traditionally, such an approach is called a Nastika approach. But we want to use the word spiritual, but we want to approach it in a non-spiritual way. That is a problem which people have to resolve. If you say it is spiritual intelligence, you have to believe in the spirit. But people who are having controversies and problems are people who don't have belief in God. I don't have belief in God. God is a very easy word. I don't believe in a intelligence which is higher intelligence, but I want to have spiritual intelligence. So they themselves confuse and contradict there. Then such people's intelligence only will be from books and existing knowledge, because you don't believe anything beyond, right?
Yes, you've got a preset.
So we are not, what you can say, I am not equipped to deal with such people because I don't know anything in that domain. I have not read any books on this, okay? So if you ask me a technical question, I have no idea about it. But the approach what tradition gives is through quietening the mind, can you allow something to enter? Is it okay? Because the mind will never be quiet as long as you are using your present knowledge, no? So you have to make the mind a bit quieter and make it understand there are few pockets of knowledge which will always be there, which is beyond our present knowledge. First, that openness should be there. Okay. Second, when I said the second way to approach this topic is through, in Indian systems, we call it an astika. Astika means the one who has belief in Veda or knowledge as the final authority. So today's session we are going to approach in the Astika way.
Okay, beautiful.
If you don't believe in a higher source, then we should not discuss this topic because there's nothing called spiritual, no. So we should only discuss about intelligence, wind up and go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
So by nature, if you are going to have this topic, it has to have a believer's approach.
Believer's approach. Well said. Okay.
Otherwise, we can have this talk over a cup of tea. Some people talk sitting in a bar stool holding juice, and another person is holding some other drink. That kind of discussions, this topic will give a lot of kick. Whether the drink is giving you or not, this intellectual intoxication will give you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we are not going to do that gymnastics today. So what we are trying to do, you used the word prajna. In fact, that word was long lost inside me till someone in the screen, April, broached this topic 2 months back when we are running a program for coaches and leaders on how to integrate ICF competencies and Indic wisdom. So that is the time she brought up and said, why not we address this directly? Because without prajna, there is no Indic wisdom. So what is prajna? Prajna is that spark which descends when you are ready to receive. Like Archimedes was ready to receive. So Eureka, he shouted, and we branded it and we made some vacuum cleaner also in that. Correct?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And is there any chemistry student in the behind the woods?
Do we have anyone? Yeah. Okay. No.
Okay. Not the coach discovery call or chemistry call. You can be a management student and still have a chemistry call. Okay. I want a real chemistry student because the benzene ring was intuited by the scientist in a dream after he had exhausted all the possibilities. Because whenever you design or write about a molecule structure, that structure based on that, every molecule is there. CH3, H2O. So the molecular structure is there.
Yes.
So the benzene ring was intuited by the scientist when he saw in the dream a snake holding its own tail. So how can we answer what Archimedes discovered and this scientist discovered about benzene ring using our present knowledge?
Present knowledge.
Yeah. So what the tradition tells us, even an invention is nothing but a set of discoveries put together is an invention. And the word discovery means you are discovering, which is already there, which is covered, you are discovering. So technically, there is nothing new we are making in this world.
Nothing new.
So this is one more very important thing, because the moment we speak about intelligence in the day-to-day, people think they are going to do something new every time. They are going to
extraordinary, out of the
Very right. This is academic understanding. So what is this prajna? Prajna is that which descends when the mind is quiet, and that which the seer, the rishis experienced the truth. The word seer in English, in Sanskrita, it is called the seer. So the seer, they saw the truth and they registered as knowledge. That truth was registered as knowledge. That body of knowledge is called Veda. Now, any topic you speak, you have to first decondition people's mind. I'll tell you an example.
How? Yes, please.
Okay. I am talking with you in English.
Right.
Does that mean I and you belong to a particular religion?
No.
But when I say something in Sanskrita, why people assume that we belong or we propose something? So we have this inherent bias. Language is a means to communicate a message. Like when I say
information,
Osimum sanctum, that is the way Tulsi is understood across the globe. In India, you call it Tulsi. In German language, I don't know. You can figure it out. Sai Karthik is also attending from Germany. So that is different in German.
Okay.
Yeah. So you need a common terminology. So botanically, you call it Osimum sanctum Sanctum means that which is having sanctity. Thus, language is
Sanctity,
the means
yes.
to communicate a knowledge which can be standardly understood across the globe. So Samskrita as a language needs to be understood like this. So what is a seer? A seer is called a rishi. In English, you have seer. Okay.
Right.
That word in Samskrita is called a rishi. When the rishi saw knowledge, that knowledge was recorded and a big repository came up. That repository is called Veda. So what is an Astika approach? Whatever we are trying to discover, if we have a doubt, there is like today you go to Google and find out. Okay, for German time, what is this IST? For the US time, what is the IST? You have a ready reckoner in Google. Like that, whenever there is something to be verified, you have the oldest Google available is Veda. Very simple.
Veda.
It doesn't mean you are religious, non-religious. That is your personal choice. You cannot deny the existence of knowledge. Okay?
Yes.
So we are going to approach this word prajna is from that literature.